Hi everyone, welcome to the show today. Well, today we're going to be getting back to our roots and working in the old barn. So a couple videos ago, guys, I asked if anybody would be interested in watching a Will It Start video on this nice little Fiero that my daughter and I picked up for a little project. And you overwhelmingly said, absolutely, we want to see if it'll start. So today's the day we're going to dig into this. Now, let me tell you about what's going on here. So, obviously, like I said, I picked this up from a local junkyard. It was, I guess, and the story I have, it died on the road for a fella, and junkyard drug it in. They just kept it. They didn't want to. The owner didn't want to mess with it. Whatever. I don't know. That's the story I told. Just dead on the road. They drug it in. Upon putting a battery in the car, it will snort. It'll roll over like it's firing. It'll almost go and then nothing. Maybe I can show you that. I went to pull the plug wires and they all came out in a way that I didn't want them to. So nevertheless, it ain't gonna start at all right now. But I thought here's my plan. So basically, like I say, I know very little about this. It does make some funny noises when it does snort and start. And I don't know if it could be, backfires, misfires. Things can make weird noises in these little cars, in any car for that matter. So my thoughts were, guys, today, I'm going to get my daughter out here. I'm going to have her dig into this a little bit too. We're going to do just the basics. Plugs, wires, cap rotor, ignition module. Let's see. Well, that appears to be plugged in. Map sensor can make it do kind of funny things too. But again, like I say, I just need to hear this thing run for more than a hot second to know if the engine's actually got to come out or if we've got something that maybe we can work with here. Now, these old Iron Dukes are pretty common for their nylon timing gear stripping, which, I don't know, I almost don't think this one's done that because it does roll over, it does make spark. So, distributor's hooked to the cam on these, I'm pretty sure. So, it's got to be... I'm not ruling out that maybe the teeth aren't bad and maybe it jumped itself out of time a little bit, but I am going to rule out that it's not completely shot just yet. But like I said, I want to try the basic stuff here first. All right, guys, so we got our plugs out. That was the easy part. And they're all looking good. They smell gassy, obviously, so definitely an ignition issue there, but I figured since we're in here, might as well get this distributor cap off of here. And this is going to be a little bit more, the opposite of fun. But, that wasn't so bad. There's one. Let's see if I can get... Maybe this is the longest screwdriver I could find. Let me get one that's a little bit more length appropriate. It's just like end of the rotor broke off or something. We just put it back together and everything runs fine. That would be awesome. Okay, but let's see. Can I get... Come on. Yeah, gotcha. All right, now let's have a look in here. Okay, well, honestly, that distributor cap doesn't look bad at all. It actually looks really good, but nevertheless, we're going to change it. Rotor looks fine. Still going to change it. Now, the next thing I wanted to do was put an ignition module in this because I've had weird things happen with these before, guys. I've had the ignition module say that it was fine. And in which case, it actually was not fine. It would still fire, but it wouldn't run the vehicle, and it would run it really weird. So I figured for what we got here, I'm going to go ahead and get that replaced also. Okay, so I was able to get down there and sneak this module out. Is this the problem? Probably not. It's got... The only thing that it concerns me is these need a lot of dielectric grease or they burn out almost immediately. This one's got a little bit right here and not much of anything anywhere else. I put the new one in, I smeared it on there real nice. So, hey, one less thing to, have to say, is that the problem? Now, the next thing we're going to do, since I got everything out and the ignition system is clearly not on the car, I'm going to put the battery back on. Get her hooked up here. Hey, kiddo, can you roll down your passenger window? I'll just open the door so you can hear me. Okay. When I say roll over the engine, when I say stop, stop, okay? Hit it. Okay. All right, guys, we got 100 PSI on the first hole. Not a ton, but again, from an engine that's probably been sitting a while, I'm not going to call that a total loss. Hit it. Okay. About 90 on that one. A little bit light. I'd like to see it more like, I'd really like to see it at 150, but again, it has some. Hit it. Okay. That one's really low. We got about 60 PSI on that one. I don't like that at all. That's maybe bad news. And hit it. Okay. About the same on that one, guys. So we got okay compression in number 1, not great compression in number 2, and really low compression in number 3 and number 4. Could be a series of different things that have gone wrong here. Maybe the valves are shot in this thing. Maybe the whole engine's shot. I don't know. But nevertheless, that's not looking real promising. Okay, go ahead and shut your key off, kiddo. All right, guys, so for the time being here, I'm going to go ahead and put, now I know you're saying, boy, don't waste your money on that engine. It's not wasted money because worst case scenario, we pull this engine out and rebuild it. Still can put all this stuff in it. If I have to get a different motor, this is all still usable. So no worries. I just want to see if we can make this thing run for more than a hot second. So we're going to go ahead and drop the new plugs in. I'm going to put this cap and rotor in here. Our spark plug wires should be in about 2. So we're going to take Black Betty to town at 2 o'clock and pick up our plug wires. I went ahead and put a fuel filter in it because you never know, you might need one of those. After upon taking it out and blowing a little bit of air through it, it definitely didn't need that. That wasn't the problem. My guess right now, guys, is that I either got bad valves in the back too. Maybe it has a blown head gasket putting air between them. I don't know. Anything's possible at this point. That would also explain why when it does fire, it goes and makes weird noises. But like I said, we're just going to continue doing what we're doing here and hope for the best for now. Okay. Get this rotor snugged in here. There we go. Bingo. Now this guy. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Is that all 4 of them? Okay. Well, guys, we're on a holding pattern now until we get our plug wires. So we're gonna, maybe we say go grab some lunch. We'll go get them plug wires, put it back on. Then we'll come back and see what it says. It's probably gonna say no. You think? Yeah, I think so too. But you know, we're never gonna know till we try. Guys, we got our plug wires. Let's see if we can get these on here. Okay, and again, it's just handy to do these one at a time. If this were a small block Chevy, it wouldn't matter. I could throw them all away, but I haven't been working on a 2.5 that much the rest of my whole life, so gotta do them in order. It don't take much for a guy of my age to get confused. I'm already confused. Yeah, there we go. Is it gonna read? stage. Oh, look at all that room. Okay, now dose. Process of elimination, I can tell you that. What do you want to do? There we go. Let's move this over here. That's whatever. It is what it is. Change out this coil wire. Alright, I'll get rid of that. Move this over here. Alright, why don't you get in there and see if this will start. Okay, whenever you're ready. Well, that's interesting. Hit it again. Okay, hold up. I'm gonna try a couple things. Now, unfortunately, this is about exactly what it was doing before. It'll fire, but it won't snort enough to fire up. Because why would it? That would be too easy. I think at this point, I've got some mechanical issues in this region of the engine, but I'd like to hear it do a little bit of something anyway. See, it's just weird. If this had a carburetor on it, I'd want to bump the timing a little bit. But since it is fuel injected, if I bump the timing, it really isn't gonna. It ain't gonna help me on it unless the timing's that far off already, which is entirely possible. A lot of variables here, guys. But like I say, I think I'm firing on number 1, hitting on number 2, and 3 and 4. The head gasket between the two is blown, and it's just befuddling back and forth, I guess. I could be way out in left field on that, but at this point I can tell you everything that it's not, because we just did all that. I'm going to try one other trick I know. Sometimes unplugging the map sensor will help this a little bit. Don't ask me why. I don't know the answer to that, but we'll try. Yeah, just a sputter, a little fire, but no, nothing to send it home. That kind of stinks. I was hoping we'd get this car running today, but I had a good feeling that just wasn't going to happen. One thing I am going to do, though, I'm going to roll this baby up the top dead center, or close to it, pop that distributor cap back off, and just see where the rotor is in relation, just to make sure that the timing is at least close. Okay, well, that's not the problem. Took a crayon in there, marked the pulley, checked the distributor. She's definitely pointing at number 1. So even if the timing's off a little bit, it ain't off by much, and it should compensate for that. So now we're back to the drawing board, but like I said, I think I know what's going on. So at this juncture, I'm going to pull the EGR valve and pull the valve cover, and I kind of want to see what it looks like underneath here. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and pull the cylinder head right off. That'll give me the best clue as to the head probably needs to be replaced, or The head probably has some issues. I'm just guessing, but like I say, there's definitely, these two are restricting us. So got to dig into it, guys. Can't just guess forever because all my educated guesses are not holding any steam right now. Okay, guys. I missed a bolt. That's never happened before. That's what I tell all the girls. Did I miss another one? No. Got it. Got it. Got it. Yep, that's all of them. All right, come on. Boy, what a stubborn little mule. Wait to see what's going on in here. There. Come on, get out of the way. Okay, well. Okay. On the positive side, nothing out of the ordinary. I guess that's good. Watch those rocker arms. I'm going to roll that over because my help has gone in the house for a little bit here. Let's see what happens. Well, it looked like they were all rolling over from what I could see out the back window anyway. So guys, that tells me that narrowing problem's down here. So that tells me that my fiber cam gear is probably still in one place. Maybe it ain't even fiber anymore. Maybe someone's changed it already. That's entirely possible. It also tells me that my valve train is working, but it doesn't tell me anything about what's going on underneath that cylinder head. So I guess next step, cylinder head comes up and we get a little deeper look inside the beast to see what's going on in there. So guys, I'm going to call this one a day right now, but I'm going to come back tomorrow and I'll get all the rest of the bolts out, pop the cylinder head off, and then maybe I'll do a leak test on the cylinder head. Maybe just send it right in. I don't know. But we'll make some decisions after I get the head off and kind of see what it looks like in there. Hey friends, welcome to a month into the future here, working on this little sweetheart. Let me show you what I come up with. So as you can see, I've been digging a little. My first thoughts were, I'll just do an in-frame rebuild on it. No problem. I can get the oil pan off, as you can see. Got all the slugs out of the holes. Well, that's when the real fun started. So, first thing I did, once I got the oil pan pulled off, I noticed all this aluminum foil looking crumpled up stuff in there. And I thought to myself, well, that's bad. That's really bad. So at that point, I was like, well, this motor's pretty much beyond junk. But, you know, let's just pull these pistons out and see. There's one rod bearing. That's great. Now, here's the even weirder part. So you remember, number 1 and number 2 were the higher compression pistons. Those are the 2 holes that had the rod bearings spun in such an unholy way. She's just beyond junk. I mean, I probably could have that crank turned, but as bad as that crank is, I don't think there's enough turning and bearings available to make that work again. So that's bad. So then I had this idea. Me and my buddy Bending Wrenches, Brian, were talking. He says, well, we'll go back up to Wayne's and we'll get another engine for it. Why don't you send the cylinder head out and get that redone, so at least we'll have a good cylinder head to throw on the next engine. Well, cracked. That cylinder head, junk. Can't use that. So now I got a whole motor that's completely shot. So you might be saying, hey, this is a lost cause. Well, I ain't giving up on the Fiero. I say that's my daughter's graduation present, so that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna make it work. So now I have this engine. Notice the cylinder head's already off. I took it off, I pulled all the valves out of it myself. Let's just say this. I can't Magnaflux it because I don't have any Magnaflux here to do that. I don't have the tools for it. I cleaned those valve seats and I looked at it, and magnifying glass, or I get it, whatever. Forget I said that. Anyway, that head looks 150% better than the other one. In fact, this engine had a new head gasket and a new intake gasket on it when I took it apart. Not only that, I haven't got the oil pan off yet, but the new engine, there is no cylinder ridge. This engine is, like I say, just in a billion% better shape than the one that was in that car. Wayne made me a heck of a deal on this one since the other engine was junk, so I got basically nothing into it. And I got a free transmission to go with it in case I ever need another transmission. So right now, guys, that engine's still going to go up on the engine stand. I'm going to pull the oil pan, put brand new rods and mains in it. New seals. I bought a gasket kit for it, so I might as well reseal the whole engine, paint it nice, so I know that going in, this engine's going to be just as close to brand new as you can get for a 1984 Pontiac 2.5. So guys, that's where we're sitting right now. I didn't want you to think that I get lucky on every single one of these, because I don't. I don't win them all. Didn't win this one. I will win eventually, because I'm not necessarily one just to back down and call it a day. But I still got a little bit of work to do on it yet. I'm going to work on getting this motor redone here this week. After that happens, I'm going to turn this one over to Bending Wrenches Brian. He's going to help me put the motor in the car. Just because with him having a hoist in his shop and I don't have one in my shop, it's going to be a lot easier to do it there. And as far as dropping cradles on front-wheel drive cars, only this one happens to be exactly like that. Everything in reverse, though, if you catch my drift. He's just going to be better at something like that with a little bit of help from me, rather than me trying to sneak that motor out through the top, which is practically impossible. They say it can be done. He offered to help, so I'm just going to take that help because I don't get it very often. So guys, that's where we're sitting on the Fiero. Stay tuned. Maybe check out Brian's channel because he's going to have a couple videos coming up on it too, I'm sure, of the process getting this done. And then once I read everything running right and actually driving, then we can start on the fun stuff that I really do like to do. So guys, thank you for watching again today. Let's just put that there. We'll shut that down. Like I said, I'm not giving up on this Fiero. I think it's going to be a cool little car, and my daughter's going to really have fun with it in the summers only. It won't be driven in the winter. Kind of like Black Betty in there. It'll sit next to it all winter long. But again, guys, I'm not giving up on that little car. Like I say, it's been kind of her dream to have a little Fiero just like that sometimes. So now that it's going to have a brand new motor and I got a spare transmission, should I decide to rebuild that transmission just to keep it in case I need one, there ain't a whole lot more that can go wrong with this little guy. So I'm going to win this battle. Just she's got the upper hand on me right now. So guys, that's going to do it for me today. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.